Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're all doing very well. I'm not doing too bad. Okay, so at the weekend we have the female equivalent of Mayweather-Pacquiao. Yes, we do. Do you know how I know this? Because Eddie Hearn told us. Eddie's been banging the drum for Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. The biggest women's fight ever. You know, Ali Fraser with tits or whatever. You know, I mean, Eddie, calm yourself down, mate. Calm yourself down. Have a cup of tea. Calm yourself down. Yes, it's a very, very good fight. It's an intriguing fight, but there's such a thing as too many bells and whistles and dancing rah-rah girls. Calm yourself down. It is a very, very intriguing fight, a very good fight, but all the hyperbole is just a lot of bollocks in it, really. So it's an intriguing fight, and I'll say a few words as to why I think it is. It's quite simply, I can't really pick a winner. I know a lot of people have leaned towards Amanda Serrano, and that was my initial reaction when the fight was made. Let's talk a little bit about each boxer. We got Katie Taylor, who I'm sure you know the story. Olympic gold medal winner, currently the undisputed lightweight champion. Has fought very, very high quality of opposition. Jessica Hahn, Natasha Jonas, Delphine Persoon twice, Miriam Gutierrez. Who else have we got? Cindy Serrano, sister of Amanda, I believe. Yeah, she's just fought. She fought that Kazakh girl last time out, Sharapova, Firuza Sharapova. So Katie has had, she's only had 20 fights, but the quality of the opposition cannot be doubted. It's very, very good, and she is undefeated. No draws, no losses, 20-0 she is. And, yeah, she is the dominant lightweight fighter. However, a lot of people, myself included, believe that she has lost, well, at least one fight. The first Delphine Persoon fight against Katie, to me, that was an outrageously bad decision. I thought Delphine Persoon won that fight easily. Well, when I say easy, I mean, she had to work for it. But in terms of rounds won, there was no contest. I thought she easily beat Katie as far as, the numbers are concerned. Some people say that Katie lost the rematch as well. Yeah, you can make a case for it, yeah. I don't get het up about fights that are close. If some fights you watch them and then you think one person's won, then you watch them again, you might give it the other way by a point or two. Some people say that the Natasha Jonas fight, they had Natasha winning. I didn't. I thought Katie won that fight. But certainly the first Persoon fight, it's an outrageously bad decision. Persoon won that fight, regardless of whether you think she won the rematch or not. She won that fight. The other one that is worth mentioning was earlier on in Katie's career when she fought Jessica McCaskill, who is now the undisputed welterweight champ. I think she's only had about 10 fights, 9-1, I think she is. And Katie's the only person to beat Jessica. Some people say they thought Jessica won that fight. And Katie, I think, on the cards was quite comfortable, I think. But some people say, no, that was a bad decision. I don't know. The one that really irks me, the one that puts a one in the loss column for me, is the first Delphine Persoon fight where Katie was just outworked, took far too many punches. And that is something that she does. She does take punches. You can hit her. She likes to start slowly. She likes to go through the gears. An awful lot of her punches are winged. They're sort of what I call around the corner punches. Well, you're throwing them almost semicircular. She can cuff with the punches sometimes. Sometimes her defence gets a little bit lax, but she has a very high work rate. When she goes through the gear, she normally starts relatively slowly, not at a pedestrian pace. We're not talking the first round of Fury White, but not a bad fight, not a bad fighter at all. I mean, and the thing she's done for women's boxing is incredible. The way she's elevated it, brought it into the fore, along with not just Katie. Other female fighters have done it as well, including Amanda Serrano. So let's talk a bit about Amanda. She's from Puerto Rico, whereas Katie is 35, Amanda is 33, and Amanda is a southpaw. Katie's orthodox. And Amanda she's been world champion in 6 or 7 weight divisions, from light flyweight, super flyweight to up to lightweight. She has actually held, I think she held the IBF lightweight title briefly. But she goes up and down the weights, up and down like a horse draws. I mean, she cannot stay still. For example, the best example I can think of is when she fought Yamila Reynoso in 2019, I think it was. No, 2018, was it? I think it was 2018. I might be wrong on that. But she fought her at, was it featherweight? I think it was featherweight. Or, no, it wasn't. It wasn't feather. It was much higher than that. It was, I think it was light welterweight or super flyweight, but a super lightweight. Yeah, it was up. It was up. It was up. It was up in the. It was. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Reynoso. She beat her. She beat Reynoso on points for, I think, one of the. I can't remember what version it was, but it was a light welterweight belt. And then 4 months later, she was down at super flyweight, winning a vacant title in 1 round against Eva Vorarlberger of Austria. So this woman, Amanda Serrano, she goes up and down those weights like it's a lift. It's up she's up and down like a bride's nightie. And she has won a lot of world titles in a lot of weight divisions, but some of them, I can think of 3, were vacant titles. And there's nothing wrong with winning a vacant title, I suppose. It's still a title. You've still got to beat someone. But to beat an established champion is probably a better deal. But I don't want to sound like I'm taking anything off her. She's won these titles. Some of them were vacant, and then she sort of, I think, vacates and moves up to. She's gone from lightweight, featherweight, light welterweight, down to light flyweight. I mean, she's down to super flyweight. It's quite extraordinary the way she jumps up and down the divisions. Now, apart from that, the one thing that she boasts in her record is 42 wins, 1 defeat and 1 draw. And the defeat was against, it was 10 years ago against Frida Wahlberg in Sweden. She lost a unanimous decision. Since then, no problem. She's dominated everyone she's fought. I can't think offhand since then of anyone that's even given her the remotest trouble. And she doesn't quite have the level of quality of opposition that Katie has, but it is worth noting that of her 42 wins, 30 are inside the distance, and that is a remarkable statistic for women's fights. Whenever I review a woman's fight, I always point out a woman's world title fight is 10 2-minute rounds, which is 20 minutes of boxing. A man's 6-rounder is 18 minutes of boxing. So a woman's world title fight is only 2 minutes more in the ring than a man's 6-rounder. And for someone to have 30 knockouts in 42 wins, when you haven't got that much time to get your work done, and when dazed fighters are often saved by the bell, I think it's a pretty remarkable achievement. If you break that down further, Amanda has 24 wins in 3 rounds or less, and 14 in the first round. If you've ever seen her fight, she is a quick starter. She's a southpaw. She comes out. She's not crude. Her punches are sharp, very often straight, and she definitely likes body work. She likes to go to the body. When she won I keep calling it the light flyweight, it was a super flyweight title against the Austrian girl. That was a 1-punch body shot knockout, and she's hurt other girls to the body as well. She varies her work really, really well, and her feet are quick. They're not. She doesn't bounce around the ring. She doesn't waste energy, but her feet are quick. She gets close to you quick and lands hurtful punches, and it's difficult to see a lot of them coming because she varies her work really well. Now, how's this fight going to go? Amanda is a fast starter. I don't think Katie. She started relatively fast in the past, but nothing compared to Amanda. I see Amanda coming out and trying to make a statement early on as a southpaw, and firing shots to the body and the head, jabbing quite a bit. The jab is something that Katie can neglect often. I wish she'd jab more. But I see Amanda hanging some meaty combinations off the jab, getting close to Katie, but sidestepping, giving her a few angles. She knows Katie fires a lot of wide punches. Katie doesn't fire that many straight punches down the middle. It's normally around the corners. I see Amanda being able to handle that, being able to read that. And after 5 rounds, so halfway through, I see Amanda leading. But if Katie can maintain her work rate and not neglect the body, not neglect the jab, but fire a lot of punches in bunches and make Amanda work at a pace. So she may be losing the early rounds, but she wants Amanda to fight at a high pace. In the second half of the fight, the last 5 rounds, I see Katie taking over and dragging Amanda into a place where perhaps she hasn't been before. Because Amanda has been a dominant fighter. And I can't think, I may be wrong, but I can't think of many occasions when she's had to dig deep. Whereas Katie certainly has had to dig deep. The 2 Bassoon fights, you know, even in her last fight against Sharapova, which was by no means Katie's best performance, there were moments where she had to get down in the trenches. And she seems to like that. And I'm not entirely, if she can drag Amanda into a trench warfare, I think Katie can grind her down, not stop her. I don't see either of these girls being stopped. I think, well, it's possible Amanda could stop Katie because she's a very, very sharp puncher. At that weight, maybe not a lightweight, but she does hurt when she hits. I think Amanda will dominate maybe dominate the first half of the fight. So it's 4-1, 5-0, and I think Katie takes over and strongly dominates down the stretch. Now, will it be enough for Katie to get a decision? These 2-minute rounds and the fact it's only 10 and not 12 rounds, it annoys the hell out of me. Most of the female fighters I've spoken to don't like 10 2-minute rounds. They want 12 threes. In fact, they at least want 3-minute rounds. I think my prediction for this fight is that Katie Taylor will win a very close, probably controversial decision, because she'll finish down the stretch. But Amanda's earlier and middle round, there aren't really any middle rounds, are there? I mean, first 4 or 5 rounds, Amanda will be leading, and then Katie will come on strong, and she'll have to take a battering. I can see her end up with bad marks on her face, swollen eye, maybe damage to the nose or the mouth. But I think she will win a controversial decision over Amanda Serrano. And rematch anyone? Probably. But it's a difficult fight to predict. The sharper work of Amanda Serrano, can she maintain it for 10 rounds? It's certainly possible she can. Or will Katie, with all her experience, all that trench warfare she's been through, that she knows she can do it. She knows she can go there. Amanda maybe doesn't know how she gets on in a firefight. But I see it being a controversial decision. That's my prediction. Could be wrong, could be right, I don't know. If we got all our predictions right, we'd all be living in mansions and driving Rolls Royces, but I'm certainly not. So that's my prediction. Maybe a split decision, a majority decision for Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano, with a rematch called for. What do you think? Leave your comments below. Thanks for listening in. If you're new to the channel and you could subscribe, that'd be great. Just hit the subscribe button. It takes a second to pop that subscribe button. Thank you, obviously, for your time. Hit the like button if you like the video, and we'll speak again sometime. Until then, you take care. Bye-bye for now.